Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'll tell you what, I've been watching General Hospital for a long time, and every now and then the show reminds me why I keep coming back. The next 2 weeks look like one of those times. From June 29 through July 10, some long hidden secrets are finally ready to come out, and I've got a feeling a few lives in Port Charles are about to change in ways nobody saw coming. First, the first thing that caught my attention was Anna refusing to let this whole Nathan story slide. I've learned over the years that when Anna starts connecting the dots, she's usually onto something. She believes Nathan West has been lying ever since that unbelievable return from the dead, and I can't say I blame her. That miracle has felt suspicious from day one, and it finally looks like someone is ready to ask the hard questions. At the same time, Cassius seems to be walking an even darker path. With Ross Cullum handing out dangerous orders tied to Sidwell, I get the feeling this isn't just another villain making threats. This sounds like a full-blown operation, and if Brennan really ends up in the crosshairs, things could turn deadly in a heartbeat. I have to give Nina some credit if she steps in to save Brennan, because that's the kind of unexpected twist that keeps Port Charles from completely falling apart. What really has me talking, though, is everything happening around Carly and Lucas. When two people discover the same shocking truth at nearly the same time, that's usually a sign the writers are about to blow the lid off a major secret. If Nathan truly turns out to be Cassius's twin brother, and Cassius is the mastermind behind Jocelyn's kidnapping, well, Lord have mercy, that would explain so many pieces that never quite fit together. I've been waiting for the puzzle to make sense, and this could finally be it. Then there's Sonny. Every time someone thinks they've cornered that man, he somehow finds a way to surprise everybody. Sidwell may believe he's setting the perfect trap, but I've got a feeling Sonny is holding information powerful enough to turn the tables. If he exposes Cullum as Marco Rios' killer, that could send shockwaves through just about everyone involved. That's the kind of reveal that changes alliances overnight. I also can't ignore what's happening with Rocco. I understand why he'd be furious after learning Britt has been arrested. Sometimes the younger characters remind the older generation that keeping secrets doesn't protect anyone, it only creates more pain. His anger toward Dante and Lulu feels earned, and I wouldn't be surprised if those family tensions become just as emotional as the bigger crime story. And before the week wraps up, Ava finds herself reacting to a confession that could change another family's future. If the truth is that Ethan isn't Phoebe's biological father, then another long-buried secret is about to come into the light. You know, that's what I've always found fascinating about General Hospital. Just when one mystery's finally solved, another one is already waiting around the corner. Second, when the story rolls into the week of July 6th through July 10, I honestly think we're going to see one revelation after another. I've watched General Hospital long enough to know that the biggest explosions don't always come from gunfire or dramatic rescues. Sometimes they come from one person finally telling the truth. That's exactly the feeling I get with Lulu. If Charlotte finally confesses that Valentine had been secretly hiding at Carly's house until recently, that changes the entire picture. Suddenly, all those unanswered questions begin to make sense. Folks have been wondering who knew what and who was protecting whom, and this confession could finally pull back the curtain. But if you ask me, that's only the beginning of the real storm. The secret surrounding Nathan can't stay buried forever. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, nobody in Port Charles can wear someone else's face forever without the truth catching up. Once Lulu discovers that Nathan is actually Cassius, I expect everything to unravel in a hurry. That twin impersonation has fooled people for a while, but every lie leaves behind little cracks. Eventually, those cracks become impossible to ignore. I think we're finally reaching that moment, and I can already imagine the shock on everyone's faces when they realize they've been dealing with Cassius all along. What really surprised me, though, is the possibility that Cassius won't simply disappear the moment his cover is blown. Instead of running as far away as he can, it sounds like he'll take one enormous risk just to say goodbye to James. Now that's an interesting choice. I'll tell you what, even characters who have done terrible things sometimes reveal a softer side when family's involved. That doesn't erase everything Cassius has done, not by a long shot, but it does remind me that General Hospital loves to blur the line between villain and human being. Just when you're ready to write someone off completely, the show gives you one emotional moment that makes you stop and think. Of course, that emotional decision could create an even bigger disaster. If Cody catches up with Cassius while James is nearby, the situation could spiral out of control in seconds. That's the part that worries me the most. Children always seem to end up caught in the middle when adults make reckless decisions, and I'd hate to see James become another innocent victim of all these secrets and lies. Cody has a good heart, but sometimes good intentions aren't enough when emotions are running high. One wrong move could change several lives before anyone even realizes what's happening. Then there's Willow, and I have to admit I've been curious to see how this story plays out. She isn't about to sit back quietly while everyone points fingers at her over Jordan's hit and run case. Whether people love Willow or can't stand her, one thing is certain, she's going to fight for herself. I don't think she's willing to let accusations define her without pushing back, and honestly, that's probably what she has to do if she wants any chance of clearing her name. The twist that has me raising my eyebrows, though, is what may happen to Brooke Lynn's plan. For a while now, it has looked like she had everything under control, but schemes built on deception rarely last forever in Port Charles. Sooner or later, somebody notices something that doesn't add up. If Chase truly decides to step in and prove Willow's innocence, instead of letting suspicion control his judgment, then Brooke Lynn's entire strategy could begin collapsing piece by piece. I've always believed that Chase does his best when he follows his conscience instead of his emotions, so I'm very interested to see whether he finally chooses the truth over resentment. Looking at everything together, these episodes feel like they're building toward one major turning point. Hidden identities are coming apart, long-protected secrets are finding their way into the open, families are being tested, friendships are shifting, and loyalties are about to be questioned from every direction. That's the kind of storytelling that reminds me why I've stayed with this show for so many years. Just when I think I know where the writers are heading, they throw another curveball that keeps me guessing. If these spoilers deliver even half of what they're promising, I think the first half of July is going to give longtime fans plenty to talk about. Between shocking confessions, dangerous confrontations, emotional goodbyes, and the possibility of justice finally catching up with the people who've been hiding behind lies, I have a feeling Port Charles is about to become even more unpredictable. And if there's one thing I've learned after all these years, it's this: when the truth finally comes out in this town, nobody walks away untouched. After looking at everything that's coming over these 2 weeks, I honestly don't think there's going to be much time to catch our breath. Hidden identities are falling apart. Old secrets are finally seeing the light of day. And more than one family is about to discover that the truth can be just as dangerous as any enemy. That's always been one of the things I love most about General Hospital. It isn't just about the shocking twists. It's about watching people deal with the consequences once those twists finally hit. If these spoilers are any indication, we're heading into one of those stretches where every episode could leave us with another jaw-dropping moment. I'm especially curious to see who comes out stronger once all the lies surrounding Cassius are exposed, whether Sonny can stay one step ahead of his enemies, and if Willow finally gets the chance to clear her name. Then again, this is Port Charles, and things almost never go exactly the way we expect. I'll definitely be tuning in every day because I have a feeling these stories are only getting started. And if I've learned anything after all these years, it's that when the dust finally settles in Port Charles, another surprise is usually waiting just around the corner. That's what keeps me coming back, and I have a feeling longtime fans are going to have plenty to talk about before these 2 weeks are over.